They called it Saint Verena's crying wall. Some said it wept for the sins buried beneath it. Others swore it cried for the children who never left. The small countryside village settled into dusk. The old church a crooked silhouette against the horizon. Its steeple was cracked, its windows shattered like broken teeth. This was the place Father Gabriel had been sent to inspect, to prepare for demolition. He was a weary priest in his 40s, a man who had seen much, but perhaps not enough for this. He'd heard the rumors, of course, voices in the dead of night, walls that sobbed, water that ran the color of rust. But faith, he thought, would explain everything. As his hand touched the heavy wooden door, a strange, unnatural warmth met his skin. Inside, the air was thick with decay. Dust danced in the faint candlelight filtering through the broken panes. Pews lay splintered and overturned, and a statue of the Virgin Mary was toppled, her serene face staring at the damp ceiling. As the priest walked deeper into the nave, a sound grew clearer, cutting through the silence. It wasn't the wind or the drip of water from the ceiling. It was something gentle, human, and heartbreakingly real. "Who's there?" he called out softly. Instantly, the crying stopped. He made his way toward the old confessional booth. Its curtain rotted away. He pulled the door open, peering into the oppressive darkness. There was nothing inside but a thin, jagged crack in the stone wall, glistening as if perpetually wet. He reached out a hesitant finger. The tears weren't water. They were thicker, darker. The stone itself seemed to bleed pure sorrow, compelled by a force he couldn't name. He pressed his ear against the cold, damp surface. A voice, a mere whisper, slithered from the stone. "Forgive us." A low rumble vibrated through the floor beneath his feet. The dripping intensified, echoing like a frantic heartbeat. Behind the main altar, he noticed the wall bulged unnaturally, straining against its mortar. He pushed aside a heavy, fallen cross, revealing the dark entrance to a hidden chamber. Holding his torch high, the light fell upon a horrifying sight. Dozens of small, wooden coffins were sealed directly into the wall itself, stacked like bricks. Faintly carved names adorned them. Anna, Michael, Clara. They buried them inside the walls, he realized with a surge of ice in his veins. Orphans from the plague. The church had sealed them away, alive. The sobbing grew deafening now, a chorus of anguish from all around him. The wall trembled, pulsing as if it were breathing. He stumbled backward, a gasp caught in his throat. One of the small coffins burst open with a splintering crack. A small, skeletal hand reached out from the darkness within. And then, the crying changed. It twisted into laughter high, shrill, and echoing with an eternity of pain. Their prayers were never answered. Now, they pray through anyone who listens. The walls began to pulse violently, releasing a flood of black tears that slicked the floor, rising around his ankles. Father Gabriel screamed as, high above, the church bells began to ring on their own, their frantic peal a death knell across the silent countryside. The next morning, the church stood silent again, but the stone glistened, wet and dark, even though the skies were clear and blue. A local passerby, drawn by morbid curiosity, leaned close to the wall, and he heard it faint sobbing just beneath the surface, waiting for the next listener. Faith built the wall, but grief gave it a voice.